So, how would you characterize self awareness, like the leadership self awareness? What does that mean to you?
Self-awareness is how do you it kind of integrity gets tied up in there too. Do you follow through on, what you say you're going to do? What do you know your values? We do a whole exercise unpacking your own. They develop their own leadership lens. And again, that's another thing. There's usually a couple people in the workshops that say, wow, I wasn't even aware of my values. This makes total sense why I'm conflicted here or why this feels so right. Your values obviously are the core of your self-awareness. If you're not even aware of your own values, then you're starting out lost. So that's probably it, is being aware of your own values and making your decisions and conversations funnel through that. I think of it as I make them boil down. The activity I got from a life coach, and it's a whole list of values, right? Of adjectives that describe things like truth or integrity or whatever. And I make them circle their top 10, and then I make them boil it down to just five they can't live without. And then I say, picture that in a circle, and everything that comes out of your mouth, every thought you have or decision you make for yourself goes through that lens. That's step one.
Yeah, what I was hearing is, that this awareness, leadership awareness, is an awareness of how you're showing up with others, awareness of your communication style, how you communicate, how you handle the pressure, being aware of that pressure. And then also, as part of it, the underpinning is this awareness of your values. What drives you? What is it that you can't live without right now? Just boiling it down. And it's really interesting in mindfulness, it's synonymous with awareness, right? And a lot of the training is purely on that, like how to develop that awareness in the moment. And one of the things that sort of reminded me of the role of mindfulness, what you shared, is this: you need sometimes somebody to come and shake you up, right? And to just take that time to be self-reflective. And one of the ways we talk about even mindfulness itself is it's a way of remembering to focus on what matters most right now in this moment. And there's this part of it is this continuous, like you always need to be returning to it, right? Because we're going to forget, we're going to get caught up in all the realities, those pressures that are happening all the time. And you mentioned how there's this elegance of having this like short training stint where you're providing this chance for your leaders to dive in and to just reflect and to think about things that aren't normally talked about, yet could be so powerful. How do we, how do you keep that going? How do you support your leaders in continuing that development over time? And is there a place to continuously remind them in some way similar to some of this training that we've been working on?
That's a great question. That's a place I could probably do better. I have been focused on getting them all through it. We do have the opportunity at the end if they want more coaching that we will set them up. We have external coaches and other people that can take over in that respect. I've had a few people who've wanted to do that. I usually will do a follow up a month later, check in with them. And then I'm on the jobs a lot. I travel to the different companies all the time. And so I get the chance to see them at least. It's been probably once or twice a year in each of the different businesses that we have, because they're usually in any meetings that we do when we go to visit. And I'll check in with them casually. There probably should be more follow up, but we've been seeing such a difference in them just getting those little seeds of things to work on their own. They also get provided a workbook that has a lot of the notes already in there, and I give them a whole book reading list of things to follow up with. I think it's been effective in them doing their own self-development, but that's probably an area where I'm going to have to look at what am I going to do once I get them all through it. I'm almost done getting every leader in the whole company. It's the next step.